Hey, Central Minnesota. It is Thursday. I'm going to have our next 4 days fishing forecast ready for you here. A few people have asked, how do you come up with these forecasts? What are you looking for? And mainly we look at a few things. Atmospheric pressure is a big one. Wind direction and then wind speed. Cloud cover, and then if there's a moon period, that's kind of like extra credit or bonus points when we come up with these scores out of 10. So depending on what you're fishing, I like to focus on walleyes and pike. I know the bass fishermen maybe like those really calm days where they can go fish for fish and cover. But based on all those things, that's how we kind of figure out what type of day it's going to be. In my opinion, as long as the weather's nice, any day is a good day to be on the water. But I'm always searching for that day that could be the best, mainly the day that you might take work off for. So that's what I'm trying to bring to you guys. So remember to like and subscribe if you want to see future content. We're at Sport North MN. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter. And if you are not in the Annandale or Central Minnesota area, we will be expanding to other lakes in the Midwest. So I'm excited to start that project here and hopefully have more reports for you guys as well. So with that, here's our forecast. Friday morning, I don't give it a very good score. I give it a 4 out of 10, mainly because we have high pressure. After this kind of cool front came in, the pressure is going to be high. It's going to be sunny. Not a great day for fishing typically after, we have storms and then a cool front like that. So, but the last hour or two Friday evening looks pretty good. They're talking there might be more clouds. Our pressure is going to be back to normal in that normal range, so that shouldn't be affecting the fish any. So I give Friday a 6. Friday would be a good day if you're just getting to the cabin or somewhere to go scout a little bit, spend some time on the water looking at your electronics, because Saturday is looking to be pretty good. Saturday I give it an 8 out of 10. Could be a 7 if we have more sun than clouds, but they're predicting it for it to be partly cloudy. Pressure is going to be falling, which is always my favorite for fishing. That tends to get those fish active and feeding. Saturday evening is another good time. Going to be a 7 or 8 out of 10, depending on, again, the cloud cover, because the wind looks good. We have a west wind, not super windy, but enough where it can impact fishing. There could be storms Saturday evening, so obviously that's good for fishing, but stay safe. Look out for lightning and those types of things. But if you can avoid storms and anything like that, I really like Saturday evening. I give that an 8, especially if there's storms coming. There's likely cloud cover. So just keep an eye on your radar so you don't get caught in something nasty. All right, and then Sunday, another good day. I have 7 out of 10. More sun than clouds, it looks like. The wind's going to be switching a little bit out of the north. We do have a major moon phase in the first 2 hours of daylight, so that can impact fishing as well. So that's a bonus point. So that's where that 7 out of 10 comes from. Sunday, I give it a 6 out of 10. Just because the wind's going to change. It's going to be light wind, but it's going to change to potentially out of the east, which is not ideal, but the pressure is falling. So, I think fishing can still be pretty decent. That's why I only gave it a 6 out of 10. And then Monday, if you have a long weekend here. Monday looks great. Monday morning, another 8 out of 10 day. They're talking maybe more cloudy skies, falling pressure, and there's a major moon period in the morning. So I do really like Monday morning. Hopefully you maybe have that day off or can get out there. And if you're going to get out in the morning, remember, we're talking like 5 to 7 to 8 a.m. So we're talking really early. So maybe you can go before work. Monday evening, I give it a 7 out of 10. Looks like it's going to be cloudy skies. Wind out of the southeast, 5 to 10. We have low pressure. It's going to kind of finish falling and bottom out there. And fish tend to like that low pressure, which is why there's probably a chance of some clouds and maybe a little chance of rain. But yeah, that score I give a 7 out of 10. All right, here's a quick look at the whole week. You'll maybe see it off to the side here if you want to pause the video. I should have all the scores up here for the week for each day. If you want to pause it, see it, take a picture of it, share it. This is your weekly fishing forecast. All right, tactics today. Today we're going to talk about bottom bouncers and pulling spinner rigs with crawlers for walleyes. This time of year, they get to be pretty deep. And some guys will troll with lead core, deep diving crankbaits, but a lot of guys can cover a lot of ground using these bottom bouncers. If you're not familiar, they look like this. Got a big lead weight. This thing just trolls. You tie off right here. Excuse me. tie off right here, and this is where your rig's going to go. It's got a barrel swivel on it, so if you get line twisting, it keeps it from twisting up because the barrel swivel will twist for you. Typically what you do with these, some guys are different. I like to do about 7 or 8 feet lead off of these just to keep it away from this bouncer. You don't need this always making contact with bottom. You just want to know where it's there, bump it now and then just to make sure you are down by the bottom. The rig I want to talk about today though, I got hooked on last year because I caught fish. First off, we'll talk about are these slow death hooks. If you haven't heard of them, they have that goofy shape, and that goofy shape is to make that crawler twirl. And the slow death is just for going really slow with these bottom bouncers. And as you go slow, that night crawler just twirls and twirls right in front of walleyes' faces. And actually, we caught some big pike on it last year too. So that's a slow death hook. A few brands make them, but I'll leave a link down below where you can check those out. Also, if you're going to be going slow, a lot of times those spinners, the traditional spinners that people put on, those won't spin until you get above that 0.6, 0.7, 0.8 miles per hour. So what they came out with are these things. This is a Smile Blade, so you can check that out there, and that'll be linked down below as well. These things are supposed to be able to spin, look at that, with all the way down to a 1/4 mile an hour. So if you get real picky fish, you can put this on with the slow death with half a crawler, and then that thing is twirling, that thing is spinning real slow in front of a fish. It's going to be pretty tough for them not to want to take a bite of that. So as far as size of bottom bouncers go, if you're going really slow, you can probably get away with a 1 ounce in that deeper water. I prefer a 2 ounce because I don't always like to go that slow, but it really depends on how slow you're going to go, and then also how deep you are. So a lot of times the general rule of thumb is 1 ounce per 10 feet, but it depends on your speed more than anything. All right, and then the other one we have here that does the same thing, I believe it can go down to a 1/4 or a 1/2 mile per hour. This is the Butterfly Blade, and you put a few beads on there and a slow death hook. So again, half a crawler, that thing is going to twirl in the water, and this thing will spin even though you're not pulling it very fast. These will spin when other traditional spinners won't. So pulling it in front of some picky walleyes tends to work pretty well on those, especially on those slow days or those sunny days. So give those a try. If you're graphing fish deep and anywhere from 25 to 30 feet of water, and you're graphing just like one here and there every 20, 30, 40 yards, bottom bouncing is a great way to cover ground and get after those fish and pull it by them nice and slowly. So with that, if you want to see more content in the future, subscribe, follow us at Instagram, Twitter. We are at Sport North. That's our handle for everything. So thanks for watching. Take care and good luck this weekend.